What's up, peeps? Yo, it's Allergic back because I've been triggered again by my people acting like agent provocateurs over this BLM hashtag that's gone viral today in the UK. They've got school children promoting it, celebrities promoting it, you name it. But first and foremost, I want to say Happy New Year. If you didn't know, then happy April Fools in advance. Spring's here, and now the ones who gave us the COVID monster are appealing to our tribal nature, knowing that we want to all get together and celebrate the spring, the birth of the sun, in a sense. Instead of thinking critically, as we all should be, considering the circumstances, and thinking and functioning independently from this hive mind mentality that's going on out here. A lot of people are conforming to this groupthink and psychology of the crowd, and go and join this, go and join that. I completely get it. Go and see your family, whatever. But what I'm trying to get at here is the whole protests versus demonstrations versus riots versus looting thing that's going on. And can we really tell the difference? And what's going on as far as private property, business, and actual, a man's private property. So I'm talking about, we have big businesses that are being put up as the fronts for, for this, for looting that's gone on in America. This warning I'm trying to put out there for, predominantly people that know me in the UK, people that are leaders and that are influential, of, as a warning that you are responsible for who you influence and what you do. A lot of posters I've seen for the protests, for the lockdown protests, mass protests, whether it be, vaccine stuff, whatever, have been very well worded, to say the least. Things such as, oh, come for, picnics, putting the word picnic in there, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your loved ones. Very careful not to say children or minors. I'm really under the impression that, bringing the whole save the children thing into this is in a sense, putting the children in harm's way, especially if you're going to be trusting of a group of people, to stand next to a group of people and whatever you want to do, listen to music, demonstrate, whatever, you already know the powers that be are going to put you in a category of a person that could potentially be an infector, uh, an infector of others, you know, a biohazard to others. I'm gonna go through a few things. I've got notes written everywhere. I got my brother Jimmy on the line that's you know quite passionate about this matter. Um, I've told him to bear in mind that we're on YouTube, we're on a few platforms that are gonna be not so kind to what he might have to say. So I hope you're listening in there, Jimmy. Um, so where am I gonna start? I want to start really light with words, I think. So I'm gonna play this and try and switch on my screen. Let's get everything cooking. Okay. Screen on. This is A Matrix of Word Tricks by Laurel Poem.
Yeah. You don't hear the video. Allergic.
Was it difficult to hear that? Was it difficult to hear that, Ro?
No, you don't hear it at all.
Oh, you didn't hear it at all. My bad. My bad. It should have been coming through. I'm very surprised. Okay.
No. Now it's coming through.
Uh-huh. Well, it's coming through for you. Was it coming through on YouTube though? That's the question.
I'm only listening on YouTube.
I need to play that again. It's so good. It's so good. I have to get it to come through. How do I get it to come through here? Excusez-moi.
You need to restart it. You just restart it.
Okay. Let's try again. Excusez-moi. It's not coming through at all. My fault. Audio properties. Default.
So on the eve of the election, we have.
Oh, I got it coming through. Okay. My bad, people. My voice meter. I'll blame my voice meter for that.
The strangest moment in the strangest year in the history of the U.S. and possibly the whole world. So on the eve of the election, we have Trump who wants to trump everybody, and Biden who's been Biden his time for quite some while, wanting to be the president. So if the world seems especially weird to you now, I want to share a little piece about just how strange it really is. That indicates to me we may be living in a matrix made out of word tricks. And I invented the term homonymic metaphor to describe a pun that helps us see the drama and absurdity of what we often take to be our bottom line reality.
Okay. That should be coming through YouTube. Unless you've muted YouTube.
Since a major source of human friction, responsible for great affliction, is the arrogance with which each culture designates what's fact or fiction, we might then very well expect,
it should be coming
because
through.
our words and worlds connect, some state to state with ardent zeal, that it alone on earth is real.
Read it,
And
though.
since its people Israelite, they wrote the book on wrong and right. We've believed now for millennia in some cosmic schizophrenia that bifurcates the universe, such that the righteous and perverse have separate realms in which to dwell, with earth the battlefield where hell and heaven's denizens fight for our guilt or innocence, while we, with nothing much to lose except our souls, are forced to choose twixt God or mammon, feast or famine. So well disguised, we must examine deep within our heart of hearts to see these worlds are worlds apart.
Oh, it's playing.
And because our lives are metaphors for our beliefs, we cannot ignore how cosmic conflict finds expression upon this plane through a succession of wars and pandemonium, where Tweedledee fights Tweedledum. Each certain God is on his side, encouraging the fratricide. This purview helps us understand why the Irish live in Ireland, why the Romans roamed, why the French have Gaul, and why it is U.S. is now against you all. It's why imperialists have said for eons to conquered peoples, now European. And why Hades, as all will agree, in its singular form, is pronounced Haiti. But since most folks register strong objection to the idea that metaphors might have sound connection, there are few who register humor or shock to hear the world's sex capital called Bangkok. And it gets even better than that. For one day I decided to look up Bangkok in the dictionary, and it was defined as a small port for seamen and the capital of Thailand. And of course the largest island in Thailand is pronounced Phuket and spelled phonetically Phuket. And then there was the guy who got caught with his pants down for sexting in the U.S. Capitol, and he, of course, holding that archetypal position, was named Wiener. Such unseen clues can make it seem we're sleeping through a waking dream, for many words and names we find are symbols for our states of mind. So how can we call this accidental when some puns provide a transcendental overview of correlations between our thoughts and our creations, while others are the sacred pathwords pointing toward our liberation? Whatever you do, speak truth kindly and be very aware of what you are invoking as you speak and write. Thank you.
Thanks for the sound check, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm just gonna have to bear with my YouTube here, or my connection. I think people are tearing down 5G towers as we speak. But April Fools, yeah. This satellite picture, April 1st, shared by IPS, is hilarious. I didn't even know. Very interesting globular shape to the Earth. But we'll move off of that. This is a 1992 Barcelona Olympics opening ceremony. Just something I found interesting. And they got COVID balls everywhere. Brazil. Machines from the Matrix. The machine that they're in, that they're trying to escape the Matrix. The malignant machines. Very elaborate music. But they got blue COVID balls there, and I think that's might be related to the SPAS. The SPAS epidemic that could be happening. Yeah, they had in the London 2012 they had the Phoenix, and the Phoenix again representing burning down of the old system, the economical system, burning it down and rebuilding a new utopia on top of it. That's why you have the Batman Joker dialectic going on. But I wanted to touch on one of the origins of the Black Panther movement. Fred Hampton, who was supposedly murdered by the FBI. This is one of the speeches he gave. And before, when he spoke about anyone who was to be trained into their movement or into their ideology or their party was to be trained for 6 weeks. And if they didn't stand up intellectually, they wouldn't be part of the party. So I think what it comes down to, a lot of ideas start as good ideas. They start as benevolent organizations. I think the same way the Chinese Illuminati started out, benevolent, and turned out to be something else entirely. Hear this speech that he said, that he talks about
Mad about it. What makes them mad about it is that they have
racism.
black people and white poor people and red poor people and Puerto Rican poor people and Latin American Puerto Rican people of poor people of all descents. They had them caught up in movements based on racism. When the Black Panther Party stood up and said that we don't care what anybody says, we don't think you fight fire with fire best. We think you fight fire with water best. We're gonna fight racism, not with racism, but we're gonna fight with solidarity. We said we're not gonna fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. We stood up and said we're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys like this and reactionary state's attorneys like Hanrahan with any other reactions on our part. We're going to fight their reactions where all of us people are getting together and have an international proletarian revolution.
Right on. Right on.
And that's saying all power to the people.
Right on.
That's saying that no matter what color you are, there's only two classes.
He looks like the man from the Turner Diaries.
And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back, because this is lower, this is upper, this is the oppressed, this is the oppressor, this is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American.
Did you hear what this man said? I gotta reload this. This is one of the OGs, Fred Hampton. They're making a film about this man. And you know they're gonna contrive everything he ever said. Remember, this is him speaking. This is one of the main guys involved with the Black Panther Party when it started.
They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fighting amongst each other. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here. You got pigs of all colors. You know that. You got pigs that are white, you got pigs that are black, you even got pigs that are black and white.
Yes, you have pigs of all color. And being a pig, I don't even want to call them that, chauvinistic as they may be, but there are people that want to uphold the law. Unfortunately, the system is created so that they are made to try and work on this commission basis. And if they don't, they'll probably lose their jobs. If you don't stand up to get this extra commission, extra money, extra fines, issuing tickets to people.
Propagating the same type of madness that this buffoon Hanrahan would be propagating if he were here himself. Because they want to keep you to believing.
They want to make you think people like Akala are making sense, talking shit to Tommy Robinson on BBC Three, when this was the real OG, talking simple sense.
That I'm your enemy, and that everybody else that's black and that wears a lot of hair on his head and hair on his face, they want to keep you thinking that he's your enemy. Why? Because if it's for a minute, and throw away that question of racism and started to dealing with a little logic, then there would be no one else you could attack other than Hanrahan, other than Daley, and other than Tricky Dicky Nixon. If you make the right decision, then the oppressed people of the world get complete satisfaction, not you.
If the video goes down, there's links everywhere to the link tree. You can find it. I'll make sure it's very easy to find. Oh, the importance of revolutionary education. Let's see.
No, not the way we're talking about forming it.
Okay.
This depends on the education.
Well, the whole thing.
No, but in the end, this does. You can form this with no education. You can form this.
No, not the way we're talking about forming it. You know, right. We're talking about forming it right. You know, it's not on the paper. We didn't write it on the
No, you
paper.
can form it right with no education.
No.
Let me give you an example. Yomo Kenyatta formed the X, and did at the end thing. Yomo told the motherfucker, said, well, you know, you can educate. Hate the enemy, but I'm your brother. I'll help you.
Anyway, that I don't expect to play. So I've been through that. Cool. I'm just going to get rid of anything I've been through. Any of these topics. This is the Communist Manifesto. Number 1, the abolition of private property. If you notice, everything that's going on is about looting and damaging businesses. Where the line gets crossed is where my brother Jimmy was telling me is to do with mom and pop stores, where there's actually a blood and flesh man behind this store and a family that is going to lose out food. This is where you know, you're trespassing, and lethal force can be used in some states. Necessary force, whatever you may call it, whatever force you deem necessary to protect your property and possessions. But you see all these groups of people damaging property, bricks being set up on corners, like my brother Lean says in his rhymes, for people to start smashing Target up. Target's not a mom and pop store, so technically, you know, by Admiral Maritime Law, they can't really shoot them dead. Although, you know, if the people fight amongst each other, that's fine. You know, let them kill each other. That's the main crux of what they're trying to get people to do. Heavy progressive income tax. I don't know what the tax is like in America, but yeah, it's controlled, it's government controlled, and you know, employees are slaves as far as I know, and you have to pay tax if you're an employee and have a thing called income. Abolition of all rights of inheritance. I don't know, but I think things are changing all the time. I don't know much about the inheritance laws, but there's a symbol there. So these are things that they're gonna aim to get rid of to create a commune. Remember, the root word of communist is commune, and it's, oh yeah, for the group, it's the group over everyone else. Oh, I'm wearing a mask to protect you and such. You have a central bank, you know about that. Government control communications and transportation. That's done. Even privatization of communications as well. That's another one that, you know, I don't quite get. You know, my brother talks to me about them being really should be public utilities if you have communications and the public are communicating via these things like Facebook Messenger and things like this. So it makes you think, can these companies be stopped just by a man in his own right? And